What's up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and this is the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society, and welcome to motherfucking reality. Now, we got a partial crew here today. I got Mr. Sal. Sal's here.
What's going on, guys?
And then I've got a couple friends that happen to swing through First Form HQ today, and I'm looking forward to having them on the show. I've got my good friend David Meltzer, and then my new friend, Carlos Reyes. What's up,
yes,
brother?
Sir. How's it going, brother?
Boys? Good. So for my people that don't know who you guys are, I'll start with you, David. Just give them, a little 30-second rundown of what you do and what you're all about.
Sure. My journey's a little eclectic. Graduated law school, got into the internet, despite my mom told me it was going to be a fad. Became a millionaire 9 months out of law school. Went up to the Silicon Valley, raised hundreds of millions of dollars, became CEO of the world's first smartphone with Samsung. So I ran their phone division. Met Lee Steinberg. Most people know from the movie Jerry Maguire. So I ran that sports agency with Lee Steinberg, and Warren Moon was my business partner there, the Hall of Fame quarterback. 11 years ago, we spun off a marketing and media company for sports around the biggest events in sports and charities. In the last 3 years, I've built my own brand, speaking, books, podcasts.
I love the message.
New TV show. Yeah. My mission in life is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy.
Yeah.
So I know you and I share that mission to empower others. And seeing this facility, it's quite obvious you're putting the reality to your dream.
We're trying. We're getting started. We talk about day one here.
Did you catch that he's also the model in Dos Equis, the beer campaign? This is the most interesting man in the world. I was sitting there thinking like,
Forrest
fuck,
Gump,
I sold copiers. I did some fucking, this guy's like, yeah. And then I split the atom. I actually invented flying. And you might know it as the electric car.
Hey. we bring in a high quality guest.
Fuck, I mean,
we don't fuck around over
Jesus.
here.
My pal Sal.
Yeah, hey, I mean, hype man.
What's up, Carlos?
Sir, my story is actually not that sophisticated. I was brought here twice illegally. Single mom, she never made more than $8.25 an hour. It took me a very long time. It was a very expensive and extensive process to become a citizen of the greatest fucking country on earth, right?
Yeah.
And I made all my money from real estate, flipping houses. I started with bandit signs and on the street.
That's awesome.
I earned it the hard way. And God willing, we get into that. How a lot of folks nowadays, they forgot what hard work is, right?
Oh yeah.
So that's where I come from. I was born into extreme dirt poverty. Dirt roads and dirt floors. Where I come from. Taking showers out of a bucket and taking a crap in the back in a back house that my grandfather built. Having a washing board and hanging our clothes on wires. That's where I come from. And so when I got to America, I was blown away. This was like the land of milk and honey for me. So here we are. And I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk a little bit more about that work ethic thing.
Yeah, and I don't know anything about you, but I would imagine your grandpa's proud. I mean, you got to think.
God bless him.
You got to think in that sense, right? Where he's coming from and where you're sitting. I know nothing about you.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
take that as an offense. I think it's an honor. Have us in our little room here, and it's
Thank you.
that's badass,
dude. I heard something. Did you guys come? Did your mom come to the U.S. through a drain pipe?
Yeah. So
From where?
Through San Isidro, next to Tijuana. From Sonora. We're from Sonora. I was born in Hermosillo, Sonora. I was raised in Guaymas, Sonora, which is about an hour and a half south, next to a resort area called San Carlos Bay, right? Yeah. So my mother, she left me and my brother with our grandma and our grandpa for about a year and a half, 2 years while, she made her way to California first, Escondido, San Diego County. And she worked the fields, got amnesty. Then she tried to bring me and my brother through a drain system. The first time we got caught, kicked out. We waited 2 days, and the second time we were successful, made it to California. And then we only lasted about a year and a half there because it was way too expensive for a single mom. You know what I mean? So we were crushed, defeated, went back down to Mexico. And at this point, I'm about 9-10 years old, and I was already working as a 5-year-old in Mexico, but now when we got sent back, my mom and I had a plan, and the plan was to get her over to the States again.
Yeah.
So she started working in the resort areas, cleaning the rooms there, and I started bagging groceries, at a retail store called La Ley. I had my little, my little cap and my little gown, and I would bag groceries, take them out to the cars, and then ask for a tip. So at 9-10 years old, we saved money for about 2 years. And then we sent her back on the bus, Greyhound, to Phoenix, Arizona, and that's where we are now.
That's awesome, dude.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome. The land of oppression and the land of all bad shit.
The land of oppression.
Yeah, I'm just saying. That's what we see, right? Like we hear this in the media everywhere we go, and here we got a real life story of someone who's come to this country and taken advantage of the opportunities that we, who are born here, seem to forget about that we have.
I'm living the American dream.
Yeah,
man.
bro, I love it. It's fucking awesome.
Perspective's a motherfucker. Isn't
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, I was being highly sarcastic about the land of oppression.
Andy, I always, because I try to not stick my head on Facebook.
Yeah,
right?
I've been off Facebook since 2017. It's the
because of
greatest
the
thing I ever
BS,
did.
the BS you see on there, and you see all these people complaining. I grew up with a lot of those people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I grew up with a lot of those people. I got here in the 8th grade, and I got to have some friendships from from the hood and all that stuff.
sure.
And they victimize. A lot of them victimize themselves, unfortunately. And I just don't understand if they were to ever ask an immigrant, right? Hey, man, do we really have it this bad here in this country? That immigrant would actually look at that person and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? Like, what are you talking about? You have it this bad, where I come from, bread, like food isn't even guaranteed that same day. Right. My grandmother, forget that. My mom at that resort used to work for about $31 a week. You know what I mean? Like $31 a week. There's nobody in this country that's making $31 a day.
Yeah.
Right. So, and a lot of those folks that complain about this country, you just tend to wonder, I fought really hard to get here. The second time I came through Nogales, I came through a fence. I was 10 years old. Right. My mother literally just said, hey, listen to this guy. He's going to take you to the McDonald's on the other side. I didn't even know this guy. When he told me to jump, I jumped. When he told me to duck, I ducked. When he told me to run, I ran. Right. And then he got me through a hole in the fence. My mom contrabanded me up to Phoenix. Right. And I don't understand. Like, it took me like so much hard work to get here, me and my mother, to get me here, and then my brother. I don't understand what these folks are complaining about. If they don't like this country,
Bro,
why are they still here?
The problem is they don't understand what they're complaining about either. That's the point. Nobody gets it. It doesn't make fucking sense. The best saying online right now is make it make sense, because none of the shit that these motherfuckers are doing or saying makes any sense.
You want to hear the funniest shit ever, right? So my family in Mexico, they thought I was dealing drugs.
Bro, my neighbors think I deal drugs.
Mine did too.
So my mom,
I still do.
my mom had to, when they came to Phoenix, this was like a few years ago.
Yeah.
When they came to Phoenix, my mom, I don't know what the hell they were doing there, right? My mom took them to my office. We bought a 10,000 square foot office in like downtown Phoenix. Took them to our office just so they can show them my operations, my brick and mortar business, right? Because they were going around telling the entire family in Mexico, in LA, in Chicago, how like I became some kind of drug lord.
Bro, I get it.
The cartel.
So my mom had to physically show them that I wasn't dealing drugs, because they're like, how the hell, because we were the poorest kids in our family, right? Like, how the hell over there, diff is considered welfare, right? They're like, how the hell did that diff kid get all this, right? So they just were just saying that I was dealing drugs.
Oh yeah, dude. That's what everybody thought on the old street I lived on.
Guarantee it.
Everybody. And then I think the people at the new street sort of think I do, but they're not sure because they see this building like in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, it's in the same
vicinity. So they have figured out like maybe they think it's like half and half. Like, I don't know.
I mean, you got to give the people at the other place credit. I mean, when you did have 90s hip hop blaring out the back door on Tuesday afternoon, they probably picked up to it. The new neighborhood, you don't have neighbors.
Yeah.
So they don't really hear it. So
That's
they can't
true.
one-on-one,
Yeah. I've gotten to the point where it's automatic for me. I don't even like go through the evaluation process of why do I feel this way? I'm just like, fuck it. Here's the list of shit I got to do. So I'm doing it. And that's what I do.
That puts you to center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell myself, I'm like, if you don't do that list, you're going to be, that shit you're scared of, that's going to fucking happen. So I move, What about you?
I can tell you this. I believe that a lot of folks in this, in today's society, fear is what's obviously holding them back.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 people aren't successful and they're not living their ideal lives because they cave in.
Yeah.
They cave in. Some of us have made fear our friend.
Yeah.
We all feel the same emotions. We're all fearful, at some point. I mean, shit, I believe that at 10, 11 years old, when I was hopping through that fence for the second time coming into this country, I'm sure I was pretty scared out of my fucking mind.
Yeah.
But you know, it needed to be done.
Right.
Right. So that's how you just push through it. Those that actually push through that fear, they come out on the other side unlike anybody else in society.
I think a lot of people also kind of put fear and uncomfortableness in a linear relationship when they're really not. Like, uncomfortableness is usually the things that make you grow, like, but you're afraid to get uncomfortable. It's like cold fucking water. You know what I mean? Like, nobody likes getting in cold fucking water. They'll say, oh, I love cold water. No, you don't. You get used to it.
I do.
No, you get used to doing it.
I actually like
cold
it.
showers.
Yeah, I do
cold
like
showers,
it.
yeah.
Wim
Because
Hof.
It's what helps me sleep.
Yeah, but you didn't always like it.
No, I fucking hate
It's
it.
like being
For
uncomfortable.
sure. Yeah.
And then so I realized, okay, to separate the differences in the two is like, all right, what scares me and not to get it confused with what I'm uncomfortable doing. Because through that uncomfortable pathway is where I've had most of my personal success, relationship success, personal success, development. It's like, okay, if we know that fear crushes all these dreams, okay, we have to separate what fear and uncomfortableness, like, and have the awkward conversation, because usually in those conversations you get the most growth.
I totally agree, and I agree with how all of you guys said it. You know, and that's I appreciate that there's different perspectives on it, but at the end of the day, you know, I think people get lost in the idea of even addressing their fear. Like they're afraid to like even look at it. Like, so they stick their head in the sand, and then what happens is, you know, more things get surrounded, and then they become overwhelmed because they haven't addressed any of it.
I can tell you this, Andy, you may be like this too, right? You said you're an animal, you're a beast. And when you see competition, right? Maybe other supplement companies out there, you're like, I want to do whatever they're doing. I want to do it better. Right. So, but that also brings an emotion of like, you know, just like, I don't know, it's not envy. It's not envy. It's like a unhealthy competitiveness. Right. And for me, I had to really, you know, most of my life, I was like in survival mode, right? Survival mode. And I had to really switch that around to, you know what? I had to put like, this recently happened literally like 2 years ago. I had to take all the warrior suit off, you know, because for me, it was always war, right? And I had to take that warrior suit off and say, all right, you know what? I have to start being grateful. You know, I'm no longer in a war. I'm no longer in battle. I have to start being grateful. And I have to be, you know, if I come home, you know, I got to put my husband hat on, right?
Yeah.
My husband hat on, my daddy hat on, right? Or else, because if I'm in that trance the whole day, I mean, shit. If my wife's coming up to me, I'm like, hold on, I'm taking, you know, right? You know how it is, right? Yeah. You know, it changes. So when I started being grateful, I'm like, I just started really different things started to come to my mind. Like, you know what? I'm not even supposed to fucking be here.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not even supposed to have everything that I have. And even like, shit, I'm not even supposed to be in this country. Right? I was illegal for the longest time. You know what I mean? Imagine like throughout your life, you're like, shit, I hope they don't catch us because we're going back. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I just had to make that switch. Like, all right, I'm no longer in a war zone. Now I just want to, I got to be grateful. And then once you start living in gratitude and appreciation, life just becomes so much better, man.
It becomes even more effective. You're even more effective than you were when you thought you were being the most effective.